Perfection.
All right, so our first picture, the top left one, is by TI_deltas. And it's day 5 in a row of drawing. Been working on proportions and using the drawing tablet. Still super rough, but I'm starting to see progress. All right.
Progress indeed. From their first picture they posted in the MLPDS subreddit. It's looking good. It's
Just 3 days.
looking,
Yeah.
yeah. So I know some awesome user by the name of Living Dead, commented on their previous picture, giving them some really helpful advice on how to start out, learning this stuff and dealing with tablet usage. So you want to lead this one, LD, since you're the last person given credit?
I guess I can do that. All right. So basically, I'll give you a rundown of what I said. I gave them some base proportions to play with because base proportions are great to work off when you're starting. Um, don't try and break the mold until you know how to make the mold, or else you're going to have a real bad time.
Word.
So I gave them base proportions to play with, and I also gave them a few tutorials that we have hosted on our beginner's guides to look over. There's some great ones from View, and I forget everyone else because I haven't looked at that post. Anyway, there's a few tutorials in that list that I gave them just to look over. Basically, they have everything from how to set up your first pictures, thumbnailing, uh, don't be afraid of the art, things like that. Um, it looks like they've been taking some of it into account, which is great. We like to see that. And then I told them to come to the Discord, and I don't know if they ever did, but if they did, you should be like, hey,
Maybe.
bros, brosivs, double brosivs.
Pony. Fellow Horsians.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the quick rundown.
Woo!
Let's critique this thing.
Alright. So, I think right off the back for me, some of the proportions are slightly off, at least when it comes to the legs. You seem to have a good understanding of the circle sizes, like you have a big circle, slightly smaller circle, and then a bigger circle again, which is good. That's a good start. Keep with those, proportions. Womp 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 womp. Erase them. But the legs they seem to be very long for these guys, and then they come short and stubby over here. So try to, cause like say, okay, this line is how long this is, and this line's how long that is. If you bent this line, so see how much longer it is. So if the pony was standing, its butt would be, do nothing again. Stop it! Stop it! Tablet does weird things.
Smack it. No, don't. It
So
might
it's
break.
basically we're looking at like this. Your pony's hooves are gonna sadly won't be small. That's that's not how we pony the pony. So just proportions are something to always think about and be aware. And I know this is your 5th drawing you said, so just keep practicing. There's really no other advice I can give than just keep practicing. Look at references, look at guides, and just draw the horses. And you don't have to even worry about doing finished pieces. Sketch. Sketching is great, especially when you're figuring out anatomy and proportions. Spend time in the sketch stage and just sketch and doodle and be like, oh hey, so look, hey, oh that's not a color I want. Da 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 da. Oh hey, I got a head and it's there, and oh look a body, and then another piece of body, and like, oh look at that, I'm figuring out my proportions, my anatomy. Oh, I got a leg going down there, like, ooh, look at that fun time going on. Leg. Gotta get the right sizes, bippity boopity. Okay, that's about where that fits there, and then get a little down and da 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 da. Just have fun, sketch. Don't worry about necessarily lining and finishing everything, because I know a lot of people get caught up with like, oh, I have to draw to completion, which is good to do, but when you're learning anatomy and stuff, just work with sketches, figure that out, work with them, sketch a few, then try to bring one to completion and all that fun stuff.
Totally agree. Because sketching is magic. Gotta learn
Woohoo!
somewhere. No reason to push it all the way to the max start. or else you're just going to run and you're going to just keep repeating a bunch of same issues.
Exactly.
So, I've done a quick head circly thingy here. These are very important. Very, very wonderfully, magically important. I'm actually not sure if any of the tutorials I threw you go over this, so we'll go over it real quick. What I've done is I've drawn a circle over the head. Heads are circles. Wonderful. Little basketballs. And then I've gone ahead and bisected every bit in half, and then, in half vertically, in half horizontally, and then on the side of it I've split it in half vertically again. This helps us figure out where things can lay. This is very useful when you're using all your happy proportions to figure out where things are going to lay and how big they're going to be in relative size. So, using this magical little circle dealy we've done up here, I'm going to go ahead and grab a nice dark purple so we can see it. I'm going to start throwing on bits. I'm not going to grab purple because the horse is purple. I'm going to grab pink. Yeah, pink. So, let's throw some bits onto this. Muzzle. Mare muzzle. We're going to look, we got this halfway line here, so we now know whereabouts we can place the muzzle. Mare muzzles usually sit about halfway down. If you look at that list of portions I gave you, I'm pretty sure it says something like that on it. I should really just bring up that post before I'm pretty sure this world's out. I believe in you. Oh, apparently I can't click on the name. What the heck's going on here? Reddit, don't do this to me. There it is. Alright, apparently it doesn't actually say where the muzzle gets placed. But there is a document on understanding references, measuring, comparing, and under sketch and refinement. So it will be in those bits. But we'll just go over it so we have someone talking here. Muzzles stick out the face. They go out a distance. Based on if it's male or female, they'll change their shape. Go look at your references to figure out which shape you want. This would be a dainty little mare. Dainty, dainty, small muzzle. Scared face. Oh gosh. Fear. Bam. One muzzle. So, to get this basic shape and make sure it's sticking out right, we like to use a system called the box method. What this looks like is this orange right here. So we'll take the halfway, and we'll draw sticking directly out, perpendicular to the face, a cube to the approximate size we expect the muzzle to be. We're going to draw a second little cube under that, and that's going to be the jaw. And then from there, we just refine that back to the muzzle. That makes it really easy to make sure the muzzle's pointing the right direction and has good shape on the head. When we're done that, we can start refining back through the rest of the head. So we have the eyes. Your eyes are actually pretty good. They look okay on both ponies. A little bit big. The one on the her side here. Hi Google, thank you. I appreciate my phone talking to me. Sorry. The one over here is a little small compared to the other, but that's fine. That's an early mistake, easy to make. Everyone does it. Little bit refining, and it'll be back to happiness. Shut up, phone! One sec. There it is. It's away from me. It's no longer vibrating on the table. Let's go back to bluey here, though. Blue with the flowers. Ears. Ears are placed behind the halfway point on the head. Because we drew this line across the head here, this one that vertically bisects the head, we know that's the halfway point, and slightly behind that is where the ear is going to connect. And it sticks up, meets with the head, follows back down. It's like a little football cut in half. And because we get to see the line go all the way over the side, we have a pretty good idea of where it could be on the other side of the head. And I have to thank you. You put ears on both sides of the heads.
Yes.
This is a thing that a lot of beginners do not do. Heck, a lot of pros leave out too. Ears just disappear. It's sad.
Poof.
All right, that's the spiel I'm going to give you on the head. Uh, don't don't worry about it if you make mistakes. Making mistakes is what art is for. Just just try and identify them and work on them next time. You don't have to make every picture perfect. Just make a picture.
Exactly. Which is why it's always good to sketch. Sketch, 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 sketch. I just had two little things.
Sure.
One is having to do with lighting. You had the shadow originally coming like this. The thing is, light is the thing that would actually move, not the shadows. Shadows don't pour into something. Lights pour into shadows. So if this room is lit, the light would actually pour into the next room instead of the shadows pouring into the lit room because the light will block out the shadows. So that's just like a thing to keep in mind where your light's coming from. You're not you don't need to worry about this yet, but like as I see it, I'll point it out. Just things to keep in mind where your light source is and how light and shadow can work. But for now, I'd say just stick with pony proportions and learn that. It's all about learning a bunch of things, but learning the basics are the best thing. You got to get the basics down before you can do other things. See, art's very hard. There's always like, but you can, but should do this, but you can. It's all very like, there's no right way. This is just a suggestion. Work on basics first. Work on the what's the name of they're called the things that are in fundamentals. Work
Fundamentals.
on the fundamentals. They were like at the back of my head and I kept stalling till I could think of the word. But yeah, that's just my little last thing to point out. Just keep, like Living Dead said, just keep drawing. You're at the point where it's like we could critique you every other picture, but right now you need to work on like draw, draw, draw. Get 100 horses out. This is you're everyone has to start somewhere, and drawing's the best way to improve. And we can point you in the directions, of course, but drawing's your friend. It is your best friend. Spend time with it. Get to know each other.
Still feel free to come back for critique, but
Of
as
course.
Ali said, every single picture, it's not going to help you out too much. You're just going to be
Mm-hmm.
running into the same issues. So if you get critique and go for critique, especially hop into our little Discord here and ask for critique, because then you
Mm-hmm.
get more one-on-one sort of communication. It's real time. You get asked questions. Asking questions
Yeah.
is wonderful.
Yes.
When you get that critique, take it, draw a few pictures, studying that critique and trying to correct it. And when you feel you've got it, go and return with a new piece and be like, "Yeah, what's wrong now? I'm not quite getting this," and we'll keep helping. But if you just keep coming back with, "Hey, I drew another picture. Hey, I drew another picture," likely you aren't internalizing what's being said, and it's just going to cause issues for both the person critiquing and the person learning. In this case, you.
Mm-hmm. But hey, fifth day, keep going. You got this.
Yeah. There's still 360 more days in this year, and I expect to see you around this time next year. So on to the next one.
Yes, sir. Which one's the next
Ooh, I'm a
one?
sir. Ooh, so
I
fancy.
I picked that up from Drumline, so I just like no matter who you are, if I'm like saying I'll do something, I'll just be like, yes, sir.
I picked it up from Drumline.
I blame Drumline, okay?
Now excuse me as I drum on my belly.
You're hired. Let's make a Drumline.
Sweet. To answer General Ichi's question, no, the artist is not here, and we aren't quite sure why it had a butt cutie mark.
Buddy
But.
butt.
All right, next up, we have Rain Chaser. And I read that as butts. Okay, anything that can be said about this? I read anything can be said about this butt. I don't know why I put in an extra word there. But we can talk about the butt because it's turned onto an odd angle. Do you see that? Yeah, okay. I do really love this big pony's proportions. Small pony's proportions are pretty good. We do lose a bit of the body underneath this arm, and I think that's your issue. When you did the undersketch of this, did you undersketch the full body of that pony? Because doing that doing the full sketch of the pony, even the areas you don't see, very important for figuring out if it's going to make sense. There's a great picture online of a guy who dissected a bunch of anime pictures, and a lot of them are like an arm sticking over the corner of the picture. Well, this doesn't make sense because the arm would have to be like this big noodle of an arm going off the side. And it's just because the artist has failed to draw the full picture to get the full skeleton in there. Yeah, words.
Words and things.
We get paid
No,
per word.
no, I totally agree. It's something you see a lot of people do. It's like, oh, but you're not going to see it, and I don't want to draw it because if we're not going to see it, what's the point? It's like, this is the point. There you go. You'll find yourself avoiding simple mistakes that can be fixed by drawing. Draw on the other side. Go for it. Cause like Lemmy had said, the butt. I'm gonna do something over here with boxes. Like the butt right now is like facing this direction. Right here. It's like I'll draw a little cube.
Can you write F for front? Or I guess back for behind?
But the butt is facing this cube direction, but your front is facing. Just giving interesting music to draw too. So basically, what we have going on is like this is the front, and then this is the butt. Well, basically, the body has this giant turn going on in the back that would be very uncomfortable for anyone to stand in for any period of time.
Especially in a hug.
Mm-hmm. So what we got to be careful of is keeping things consistent and facing certain direction. But PFC.
Don't worry. We've all done this mistake. Every single one of us. And we'll make it in the future.
Of course. Like we've all done this. We've all had these issues. I mean, I'm guilty of a lot of things. This is just me being like, hey, I used to do this. I know what's going on, bro. It's okay. It's gonna get better. Gonna learn. Gonna learn a thing about horses. They go neigh, and they're like, hey. There you go, you learned something today. That all rhymed. Just saying. Just gonna brag for that, so that it rhymed. So yeah. What I did was I twisted up the cubes so that they align. So the curve of the body feels more natural. And it feels more in place with the environment. Especially when you have like, no, big eraser's too big. Let me get that smaller. Especially when you have overlapping going on. And then if we like erase all these silly sketchy lines going down. Get rid of sketchy lines. Gonna make them less sketchy so you can see sketchy lines, getting rid of sketchy lines.
We're a bit of out of season on that one, aren't we?
Shh, it's okay. It's okay. But yes. But ta-da. It's a little I feel like could use a little more of a tum. No more chest in the tum.
Maybe they're very athletic. Or very underfed.
Oh god. Poor Philly.
Need your ponies more marshmallows!
May the marshmallow remind you.
We're such a musical group.
Yeah. Speaking of groups, I'd like to remind everyone that there's an Aggie still going on. Yes, that was a horrible segue, but I'm taking it anyway.
Plug, 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 plug.
This theme is mouse art and or the trackpaddies. If you can use the IBM little, I can't say its other names. The IBM little nubbin.
The
bonus to use. Nubbin. That's the safest word, right?
Nubbin.
Help me, I can't draw with a mouse. Good, just like the rest of us. Except for, we did have 2 mouse artists, didn't we?
We did. I think they were more vector-based stuff with, like, line controls. Don't draw with the mouse, people. Yes, you can, but don't do it. You're not gonna learn art that way. That's just PSA.
If it's hurting to draw with the mouse, I think you might be gripping that thing a little too hard. Drop your sensitivity, or turn your sensitivity up so when you move it, or you have to move it great distances to actually get it to do anything, and that should hurt less, because you're moving full arm movements, not little wrist movements.
Mm-hmm. Arms are bad. Or wrists, mouses are bad to draw, and this is just a fun, silly challenge today.
Yeah. Don't hurt yourself.
Mm-hmm. Be smart. Stretch. Stretch your arms.
Shop Kmart. Wait.
Yeah. Alright. I did my little thing with the body. Do you want to talk about your other things?
The tail. Common thing is to have the tail either go left or right. Very common thing. But, in all honesty, the tail comes out behind the body. Like, it follows that spine. So why not continue it following the spine? And in this case, this is exactly what we've done. We've placed it so it turned more behind the body. We can see that it is now hidden a chunk behind the leg. It gives us a nice little depth to this picture, and I think really just makes that hip and tail both interact and pop a bit more. If there's a good reason to put it left or right, like they're lying on the ground or, very happy, waggy taily, great. But I don't see that happening in here, at least for her. Maybe him. That little colt looks so excited. I could see him having a wagging tail.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an listing for the Eggy about 6 lines above you, but here you go. I'll throw it in art too, because just throw it everywhere.
Put it everywhere.
Except for in the trash. Don't do that. I think I've seen this artist's stuff before. The name reminds me. Oh yeah, I'm stalking them on DeviantArt. That's why.
Hey, you went to the other channel, right?
Oh! My bad. I'm sorry, Allie.
Shh, it's okay. Shh, shh. Shh, it's okay. Shh, it's okay. Don't worry. It's okay. Hey.
I
Awesome.
got overdone with clicking.
I'll talk about the ears really quick. Be careful of these points. Pony ears have a little bit of roundness, like I did here for the little guy. Let's give him a little rounder ear, and same with the mare. Just, a little roundness is nice. It's fun. It's soft pony ears. They're not gonna impale people.
It's important.
Dang it! They're about friendship.
Being soft, fluffy marshmallows.
Soft, fluffy.
Marshmallows dancing on rainbows? Now,
this is obviously what I drew is not exact show style, but feel free to do show style. If that's what you want to learn and draw in, there's nothing wrong, because that is one of the main learning resources for drawing pony, because, well, it is the show that we all draw from. And if you want to even go above and beyond, draw horses, because horses are what the show draws from. So, yay, learning things and stuff. Like, Vital over there is drawing a more realistic horse ear. Now she's erasing it. Why'd you erase it? Okay, she's doing it again.
Oh, and it's back. And it's gone.
Oh.
It's like an emotional roller coaster here.
She's placing down her lines as she approaches the fluff. Oh, she has erased again. What will happen next in this thrilling adventure?
I can't do this!
I think the horn's pretty... Yeah, you're right. You're right. Do we need to go over the 45 horn again?
Possibly.
45 caliber horn.
Pew pew. Horn. That's actually a little bit steep. If I do say so myself. Eraser.
Horns
So
are an
we
easy
got-
thing to mess up. So easy.
We got this circle. Wee. And
Allie's gonna do it?
wee,
Oh, jeez.
wee. Look at that. Wham.
Bam. Thank you,
Wham
ma'am.
bam. Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. Wham.
Oh, wow.
Something seems off. Help me. I'm not good with this math proportions
Hold
thing.
it. Hold it. Let me help you out a bit here.
Help me. Save me, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
It's just slightly more angle. Because we forgot that top line.
Ah,
We're going to see that
yes.
45. There you go. The blue one.
Bam.
And draw the
See?
circle there.
Teamwork. Look at this teamwork.
And then we're
It's
like,
great stuff.
I don't know what to do. Oh, no. Well, I drew the line out past it. It's good. Cigar horn. There we go.
Horn. Beautiful. Ta-da.
No one
Fix
likes
up-
drawing horns.
I like drawing horns.
Is there anything else to really say? I'd say the tail thing applies to the Philly too. You also got it coming out sideways, but with the way you fix the butt, it should be good to go.
But.
But-
Actually, I have a question about his tail. That is a
Yes.
really long tail. Like, it's on the ground while his legs are fully extended. Wouldn't that mean a lot of cleaning of your tail?
I
It's-
mean, yeah.
It seems like they would either try and make their tails elastic with, like, some wire in them to, hold them up, and then some glue behind it to stop it from flopping too much, or they'd just have shorter tails.
Maybe he, used some main grower extractions.
This is why you
Jealous.
should never drink Miracle-Gro. You'll get long
Wait a-
tails.
Actually, I think this is Spitfire. Maybe? I don't know. Rainbow Dash? I can't tell. The cutie mark looks like
Oh, it
one of them.
has a key mark. Oh, yeah. Actually, I think it's their OC Rain Chaser.
Oh, sorry. I saw Spitfire's hair and Rainbow Dash's tail. I'm like,
Let me check. Let me stalk through their image gallery here.
we're stalking you. Congratulations.
There's a lot of Pegasus with the same hairdo.
It's cutie no matter what, so.
Cutie patootie.
Cutie patoot. Posterior. Oh, and the last little line I made over here I never talked about. Be careful of the tummy. It kind of is. It's a little bulgy. It's kind of the transition's more of a smooth one going into the hip. So just be careful of that. And yeah, that's all she wrote.
So the cutie mark is a lightning bolt. If this is the right character I'm looking... No, it's a heart with wings on it. Maybe?
Possibly.
I don't know. They got a few different ones here.
Let the rainbow remind you.
Definitely.
Wow.
They really like their green ponies. They're both a Lyre fan and a Lightning Dust fan.
I like green ponies.
That's because you're a green pony.
I know!
Did the bats hear that?
Ah,
And I'd just like to remind everyone, eggy, 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 yo!
Boom, boom. Wow, boom, wow.
It's freaking adorable. We got a pony going to a gun store here. We got, like, the chibiest chibi ever. Something about no pants. Okay. And a rarity hiding Sweetie Belle's face. Nice.
I approve.
Fluffy
Proving.
horses. Fluffy horses.
So we got 2 more to do here.
Yeah, and guess what?
What?
MC Labs is in the house.
Wood.
I believe their picture is next.
That would be right. Hello, MC Labs. We waited for you.
Wahaha.
Totally waited, not just did theirs third. We planned it from the start. Don't tell them.
That's not creepy.
Give me my heart and then you... Oh, man.
So, cutie patootie Twilight going up in here. Pretty cutie patootiness.
I really like the piece of critique that just says Neato. First of all, someone said Neato.
See, the only thing that would make it better if they said Nito Frito. That would make it better in my book.
Mm-hmm. So this is a pencil sketch they did, and that is their only bit of titling. So I'm going to ask, because we have them in our chat here, got any questions for us? I think we've given you critique before. Any questions about previous critique, present critique, future critique, or possible alternative timelines of now critique? That one's going to be hard to answer, though.
We didn't stop the fire. We actually started it. Wahaha.
Oh, geez. Allie, don't tell people.
But fire is fun.
Pupil size. This is a thing, and it constantly changes on the show. Using references does not work on this. They have a semi-standard relaxed pupil size, which is... One moment, please. Please stand by as I complete this call. Gotta pull up all my references. Pretty sure I have a folder somewhere.
Well, while you're looking at references, I'll quick say 2 things. The little thing I changed about the main is that it's, since you're going more show style, she doesn't quite have a dome head. It's got like this little curve, this little like S curve going on for her main that kind of is like a little bump. It's like down and then a bump. Can see here that I did in pink. Pew pew.
Pew pew.
Pew pew pew. And then like again to give it a little more like depth and texture, I kind of did the same little bump for the back main. So it's because she's the most for the back main. She's the most horse-like back main. So it's nice to have like that flow of hair coming down, just little bumps. Not necessarily everything is curved and straight. The other thing I'll mention is the tail. Right now you have the tail coming out directly sideways, where she's 3/4 positioned, so it would actually be more behind her than to the side. So if you can, picture something more like this coming out behind her, that twat tail, boxy, bam, slam. Silly salami. Maybe not make it as high either. They work, MC Labs. Just I think you entered that one wrong. Maybe.
Alright. Quick doodle based off of a reference I was staring at. Here's the reference. Hello, I am Rainbow Dash. I have a relaxed eyeball. Alright. So I've just used her eyeball as a reference here. We've just redrawn, doing some quick measurements based off of that. We get the pupil sitting about 3/4 of a high eye circle tall. The pupil sits about half wide, and the iris is about 3/4 wide. Now, that is when it's on the sideways. When it moves closer to the center, the eye is almost taken up like yours is. If you were to look at that Fluttershy that was also there, she had centered eye anitis. Let me see if I can find that screenshot again. Yes, centered eye anitis. Look at that eye. It takes up the entire thing.
Eyeballs. Pew 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 pew.
All right. Does that make sense? And then we can quickly talk about how to compare how to size them for the rest of the head. This is good because for a moment there, I actually had information up, and then I promptly closed that tab because I am SMRT. Eye size is 1/3 of a head in width. So we take the head circle. We got our standard head circle here. It's going to be orange because that's the color I chose. Head circle of doom. All right. And if we're to measure across it, your eyes are pretty dang on. They're about 3/4 of a head. I would go a little bit thinner, and then you'd be spot on. But yeah, they're good. Just a little thinner is all it takes. Sweet. Makes sense. If I keep making sense long enough, I might make $1. No? No one? Alright. I won't quit my day job.
Oh, dumb. I mean, does MC Labs have any last minute things he wants to say? Does he understand the things that came up? Why we said them?
He understands seductive Rainbow Dash sliding back and forth.
You know, that's a great thing to understand. Awesome possum.
Next,
I believe, is some cute patoote pencil case E.
so I had to shrink this by 8 times to make it fit. I swear they just try and make their canvases bigger and bigger every time.
Their prints are going to look fabulous.
Oh yeah, are they selling anywhere? Like, are
No,
you
but
ever going to vend?
they said they wanted to be able to print out everything they draw, so good on them. They're ready for a con. They have enough backstock to do it.
Totally. There's a fair number of things I would drop money easily on as a print.
So many cutes. The cutes. They are the cutes.
They're bottle series, bottled ponies. That if I could get that as a border to do my walls, yes.
I would love a whole chart. Like, you know how they have sort of like wine charts and it's like the wine in their little description? Except bottled ponies. Yeah.
Yes! Cute pencil case, get on this!
So muzzle things. We were discussing earlier the interpretation of different muzzles and why we feel muzzly about muzzles.
All right. I would like to say something for this work in progress that don't take negatively, but a lot of your work is the same. And what I mean with this is the second time I've seen this exact pose for your highly rendered ponies. This pose is no different than your previous Pinkie Pie one. While I think it's great what you're doing here, I personally believe you'll get more out of the picture by trying something different. Because if you keep breaking up your mold a bit, and trying new things, new angles, new expressions, new angles, you're going to get a lot more out of the experimenting phase on it. The same thing can be applied to the way your drawn ponies stand often. They're often in the same angle, too, with the same turned head. It's very easy to fall into, I have a system worked out, and I'm going to keep doing this pony because I can make it look great. So hilariously easy to fall into. Because you know something, you know how to make it, so you're going to keep doing it. The problem is, as I've been saying, you get stuck in a rut, and it's hard to bust out of it because it is good. And your ponies are freakishly adorable.
Mm-hmm.
But breaking free from that rut, I believe, will help your art much more than most critique we can throw at you. And it might even be something you haven't quite noticed. I don't know.
Art. It's so big and crazy.
Oh, good, they have noticed. Ooh, they're gonna do full body next time.
Ooh, can't wait to see that one.
Alright. So this is some gorgeous, 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 gorgeous smooth shading going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about the jittery edges that you guys are seeing. That is this program being all sorts of stupid when it comes to edges. Someone decided anti-aliasing isn't a thing in this art software.
Weekly PSA, this program's not the greatest representations of everyone's work. It's
Yes.
just the program we can easily share things with each other on.
Also, I don't know how to digital.
You're digitaling fine there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Allie.
Yeah.
Look what's on the other side of the head.
What's on the other side of the head? What am I missing?
It's the Wibbly Wobbler.
Wiggly Wobbler? Where's the... I'm Ear!
We're shooting 3 for 3 so far.
Look at that! Look at that! It lines up! Oh, happy day! Oh, happy day! There's an ear.
Monday,
See, people.
Tuesday, happy day.
See, that's what we were talking about earlier with like how some artists will just be like, "Oh, that means big and poofy. You won't see the other ear." It's like, but you will. Just a little.
The program we're using is called Drawpile, and the only reason we use it is because it's the only group drawing program that we have found that allows you to import an image into, or else we just use Aggie because it's better.
They say they're gonna update that feature one day, hopefully.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. If they do, we'll hop over there.
Because Drop High was bad.
I think it just stopped updating.
I looked in the stream chat. Two pencil pieces partying. I love it. It just made me smile.
I have a question about the side of your eyeball. So we have this gorgeously defined line that makes your eyes look like I've just carved them out of stone here.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nothing on the trailing side of that to define the eyeball.
Do you want to bring up the image with the sketch? Because the sketch has things lined out, and I believe this is a work in progress still, so it might not have everything.
I can try. Let me scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. Oh, I found the eyeball. Oh, he's so adorable.
Happy pony.
You want to boop it and hug it and boop it some more.
Boop.
And then we're going to find out booping ponies is like the loris, where they might seem happy, but it's actually hurting them greatly.
Oh no,
we
don't
have
make
to
me
stop
cry.
booping them.
But that ponies like those, you know, boo-boos. You know, boo-boo snoops.
Can you be sure?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Also, is that a horn
What?
in the sketch?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
Oh. Here, let me bring up the sketch here. Oh, I did it with the wrong tool. Here, we're going for round 2 here of pasting sketches. Come
Here
on,
it goes.
come on, tablet.
I believe in tablet.
I believe in the tablet. I believe it can touch the sky.
I believe in a thing called art. Just listen to the rhythm of my pen. Sure.
All right, here we go. We got. Oh, you found the white.
I'm curious. There's a lot of stuff on the sketch that's not in the picture yet, which is fine. I was just being curious.
So there's a horn and eyes and I like the
Fire.
hair. It's good flow. Good flow with that hair.
I'm confused if we should keep a little bit of the face next to the eye, or if we see it, or if only see it from the eye, from the eye angle. Oh. I don't know what side they're talking about.
Wait, where's this in voice chat?
No, in the Picarto chat.
Oh,
Keep.
a little bit. Oh, so like they're talking about if they should have some face here.
Oh, totally no. No. The eyeball's rolling over the side of the head at that point. At least from the angle you have this pony turned. Basically, turn it past like 5 degrees and they lose the side of their face.
Yeah, I like how it looks.
I'm doing my rendition of the muzzle.
I still think they should bring their far ear closer to the head, or closer to this side of the pony side left. The reason I say that is because this ear over here is almost in line with where the eye is. Visually, I mean. So if we do, how can I represent this? I can't represent this easily. Anyway, this front line, this orange line that I'm doing up here, it's basically in line with touching that ear, at least from what it appears to be here. So it'd make me think that we'd see a little bit of ear hanging over on this side, you know, doing ear things. Does that make sense?
Ear thing. You make my heart sing.
It's just how much the ears brought forward on the side of the head. And I think it might be because they are a very large creation on yours. I almost want to give you a block of clay and have you try and mold one of these ponies, just so you can play with the positioning of your elements. I tried the break. Oh.
Well, try again. After all.
You don't need very good clay. Air dry clay, there's a lot of really cheap air dry clays out there that work just fine. You put a little water on your fingers, slap the block down, beat it up a bit, work it in, and then you're just going to mold, and it's going to sit and dry, and then you're never going to look at it or breathe at it too hard, or else it's going to collapse. Yeah, it'll get full of cracks. That's what a lot of cheap air dry clay will do. You can remove a lot of that from happening by basically building a plastic bubble for it. Like you can use a large Ziploc bag or something, put it inside of there, and just leave a little bit of area open so it takes a really long time to dry because it's going to be stuck in its own humidity. And as it takes that longer time to dry, there's less tension across that clay and it's less likely to crack up. You'll still have little cracks, but they're very manageable at that point because you can just load it with more air dry clay.
It's mostly just for like practice and understanding anyway. It doesn't
Yeah.
need to be perfectly smooth.
I mean, you can use Play-Doh, really.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to actually be a solid object.
Just something to help you play and, figure out all the fun things. But I think I'm just jumping over to Manga Studio for a second because I think one of the slight issues I can see with the muzzle and why it's being so for me something feels awkward. I think it's how many harsh shaded lines you have going on, like hard area cutoffs when some stuff would slowly bleed into each other. It's very like chopped off. It feels very just like, okay, this has a chop off straight line, this has a chopped off straight line. And I think that's what's getting to me just a little bit. Let me see. I'm just playing with it slightly. So it might take me a second, but I'll just preemptively talking, saying I'm playing with it. Maybe I'll share something with the class. If anyone has anything else to share.
I do not. Sorry, that's just falling over my chair. And by chair, I mean weights on the ground. Because they're totally the same thing. Alright. If you got any more questions, feel free to ask them. In the meantime, while we wait for that response, anyone got any art they'd like critiqued? Go once, going twice. Sold for no one. Good, we're gone. We'll give them a chance. Maybe. And I'd like to remind everyone that wubba dubba dub dub ponies are still being drawn. That's the wrong image. Let's try this one more time. Ponies. Brought to you by happiness.
And smiles. And friendship.
Smile! MC Labs. This one's not even close to done, but it's a thing. It is a thing. Are you looking for that thing to be critique-thinged?
Critiqueified.
This is to respond to cute pencil case. This is where I think you'll even gain more of a bonus by trying to sculpt one of these faces. Even if it's not a very good sculpt, it'll help you understand how the shadow's going to be dropping across it, because you basically seem to have a style worked out here. At least in its... You have a lot of features that you keep reusing, and general shapes and proportions. So by attempting to sculpt this, I would suggest not doing small scale. I would suggest making it a big blob of sculpting material. It's going to definitely help try and figure out, or help you as an aid to figure that out. I suggest everyone try sculpting, because it's actually very fun.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at you, Allie.
do sculpt. I have plenty of supplies. I just don't do it often.
Just not every Tuesday from 3 to 7.
Actually, my brother sculpts more than me. He's done some pretty nice MLP sculpts, but he never does like any posts with them because, he's silly.
You should link me images that you've sequestered away.
I will have to remind me to, and I'll snag pictures.
The more you're like, oh, look at this, nightmare rarity.
Listen, your Nightmare Rarity sits proudly atop my shelf.
Wait, did you say a multi-stream sculptures of the MLP? Are you saying live stream sculpting? Well, that'd be interesting. Live stream only traditional work.
Yay!
I was like, damn it. I mean, you could sew.
I could, but that's just kind of boring to watch. It's a lot slower process than you think.
Sculpting,
Or, like draw.
Sculpting's slow too. It's like 40 minutes of me beating up a piece of clay just to try and get it soft enough to sculpt with.
Yeah, I believe it.
This picture. All right. Not going to go into too many details because we've gone over one of your other ones. But one thing that really sticks out, these eyeballs. These eyeballs and expression is not very interesting to the context of the picture. She just sort of looks like she's hypnotized by it instead of, in its sense of wonderment at it. So I would tilt her head a little bit sideways. You can use your selection tool to chop the head off the pony, including, if you can, the mane. And then you can roll it sideways a bit without actually doing much destructive reworking. You're going to have to work a little on the shading that's going to be down here after that, but it'll be an easy way of adjusting that a bit. And then I would open her mouth just a bit to be like, oh. Give it an expression to match what we're seeing. Inquisitive eyes. No, those are sad eyes. We don't want sad eyes.
So the one thing you can do that's really helpful with drawing mouths open, treat them like a literal box that's like cut up, and work with the jawline itself. Someone did, I want to say, What's a Pokemon? Did a thing where they broke it down and showed you like the inner inner jaw bone. Thank you. And it's like if you think about it less on trying to like just, oh, I'm gonna open the mouth, but if you think about it from the inside out, you think about, okay, so this jawbone is going to face down at this angle because it's connected to the skull, and it can only move in this direction. And treat it all like a box, and then you can round it out into a muzzle when you're finished.
Dun, 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 dun. For everyone who's watching the stream, they'll get to see this image. So this is what I did early on in the days of MLP while I was trying to break down proportions of a pony. This has me redrawing that muzzle, the same sort of mouth movement, just to see if it would alter in sizes. And it's, I think, 9 times I redid it, just all over the same image. And I wanted to see how it moved on MLP, and then how that could be translated back to the original drawing. So here we go. You can see it moves all the way up to where the ear would hang around, which would be right where this hand is sitting. And then we have angles that actually held true throughout the entire movement of the mouth, which was cool, because that means they had a planned movement. Yeah. And then there's muzzle sizes. Don't worry about those. Those only applied when it was on a specific angle. It broke when I tried to reuse that across the rest of it. But break down your references, and then you can easily try and recreate stuff. Yeah. Leave me. Anyway. Now everyone can see the same stuff again. Got anything else, Allie?
No, they're just hot tips on muzzles, bro.
Hot tips, yo. They be burning up these streets. Alright, well, you got any other questions there, MC Labs? Well, I play wait for questions game. Hey, Allie.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Today's been pretty alright. It's been more eventful for Inky, but
Yeah, I heard the good news.
I know.
He's
I'm
now
so
Grand High
excited.
Wizard.
Yeah, he got his robe and wizard hat and now can cast magic missile. It's pretty great. It's
Sweet.
But jokes aside, yeah, he got an interview for a company, and that's been really exciting because he's been applying like crazy to jobs. But I think the part that I enjoy the best about this is that the company is literally called Lie Nano.
Nice.
So it's like lion, small lion, lion.
Yeah. So if he has a lion toy on his desk, it's completely within reason.
Exactly. I was like, this could not be any more of a good sign of silliness.
All right. MC Labs doesn't have any more questions. So if anyone else has any art they'd like critiqued, please feel free to throw it at our faces now. In the meantime, we'll let you stare at an Aggie.
Yeah. So how are you doing, Zombo?
Just fine. I could use like 3,000 more hours of sleep, but you know, you'll get there eventually.
Totally.
I hate waking up in these cold mornings. I'm just like, I don't want to get out of this cocoon of warmth. Yeah.
Why's it gotta be so cold? Why's it gotta be making life harder?
It's actually weirdly not that cold. Like, we're looking at +2 right now in Canada.
Oh.
That is very cold.
That's not cold.
It's too cold for me. Too cold.
That's extremely cold.
What is it for you two?
For me, let's see. Well, like it's not so much the temperature that's been bad here. What's been bad is that it's been raining and it's been turning into ice, so it just got a lot of ice and rain repeating itself over and over again. So that's been the icky. Someone keeps texting me, "Hey, it's Dan." I don't know a Dan.
Anything below 23 is like disgustingly cold and requires a jacket.
Shorts and t-shirt. It's above 0. Hawaiian shirts for all!
Hookah haka hiki liki laka laka doo.
It's like 18 outside, which is why I'm hiding inside with a hoodie and a blanket.
Wouldn't you do that when it's like +18 out too?
It is plus 18.
Fahrenheit or Celsius?
Yes.
What the heck? I am still in shorts and t-shirt at that weather, and I'll have the roof down on the car, and I'll be driving around great. I'm so jealous of your temperatures.
I was talking about Celsius before, too.
I wish there was an easy convert button from Fahrenheit to Celsius. Just to
There is. It's called math.
Well,
That's not
I'm
easy.
not gonna do math live on stage, so
We're on stage now, guys.
I don't want to on stage. Stages are scary.
I just used Google for it. So that's 64 freedom units.
64. That is not cold. Oh my
That is
god.
freezing. Are you kidding me?
That is. It's 34 degrees Fahrenheit here. It's all relative, sure, but 60 is nice. That is nice
Wow.
walking around weather.
60 is cold.
I'm with Allie. If the BronyCon was that temperature instead of the plus 40 C that it was last time, I'd be in heaven.
BronyCon was nice. It wasn't even hot.
Were you formed in the pits of Mount Doom or something? Like,
Is there a cat connecting to our chat?
yeah. Oh, that is a
Does
cat.
Texas count as the pits of Mount Doom?
Yes, the
Oh my god, I heard a bird.
All right, it's a good thing it's the end of the stream.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Wait, the stream is over?
No,
So-
well, it was.
Alright. We should end it now because
Yeah.
I just see it divulging into madness. So I'm gonna take a moment to say thanks y'all coming for the stream. Hopefully no one else has questions. I feel like we're about to lose the voice chat to madness. So
Now,
Wait, we didn't have madness to start with?
Anyway.
I thought we always had that.
madness.
well,
We should
This
we have
is
madness, but
ponies.
do a cat stream.
A cat stream. The little horses. Come
When
on.
people talking cats, do it.
No. We're gonna have the worst drawing stream doing that. Trying to explain to people how to draw.
oh god.
I'm killing it here. Bye, everyone.
Kill it. Kill it.